I'd like to share with you a simple spiritual truth. It's truth number 2. God is unconditional love. Take a slow breath with me for a moment. Not to do anything spiritual, just to feel the quiet fact that you are breathing, that life is breathing within you. For a long time, many people were taught to fear God before they were taught to love God. They were taught that the divine keeps score, that mistakes are punished, that suffering is proof of failure, that worthiness must be earned. And when this belief takes root, it does something very subtle, but very powerful. It teaches the nervous system to live in spiritual anxiety. But unconditional love has no anxiety in it. If God is truly infinite, then God cannot be offended by you. If God is truly the source of all life, then God cannot withhold life as punishment to you. If God is truly love, then God cannot become the opposite of love towards creation. Unconditional love means nothing needs to be proven before the love flows. It means you were loved before you understood yourself. It means you were loved in your confusion. It means you are loved in your becoming. And it also means that you will still be loved when you stumble, when you doubt, when you resist, and when you feel lost again. Most people struggle not because they are unlovable, but because they believe they are. And that belief becomes the deepest wound of all. Unconditional love does not mean there are no consequences in life. Not at all. Life still teaches. Choices still echo. Patterns still shape experience. But consequence is not punishment. Consequence is feedback. It is life communicating with itself through experience so that awareness can grow. Punishment shames. Feedback educates. Love transforms. If God truly punished, humanity would have vanished long ago. Yet the sun still shines. It still rises, the heart still beats. Breath still returns again and again. That alone tells you something about the nature of the divine presence, of divine intention. Love is not withdrawn when we fail. Love becomes more available when we are broken. You can see this truth mirrored everywhere in nature. The sun does not withhold its warmth from those who make mistakes. The ocean does not become angry when storms churn its surface. The soil does not refuse seeds because last year's garden failed. Creation itself behaves like unconditional love long before theology ever tried to describe it. And in your own life, you have felt the truth more than you may realize. You have felt forgiven when you did not forgive yourself. You have felt carried when you could not carry yourself. You have felt grace arrive in moments you were sure you didn't deserve it. Those moments were not exceptions. They were revelations of how the universe actually works. Unconditional love does not wail for you to become perfect. It does not wait for you to become amazing. It waits for you to stop believing you must. The reason fear has so much power over the human heart is because it convinces us that love is fragile, that it can be withdrawn, that it depends on performance. But love that depends on performance is not divine love. It is transaction. Such love is transactional and is not divine. And God does not transact love. God radiates love. From that place, healing becomes possible, not because we manipulate reality, but because we finally stop resisting grace. When people allow themselves to be loved without condition, those people soften. When they soften, their bodies become able to release stored fear. When fear softens, the nervous system begins to reorganize. When the nervous system reorganizes, the body often follows. That is why love heals, not as sentiment, but as coherence. You were not created to be frightened into goodness. You were created to awaken into love. And when you touch this truth, even briefly, it changes how you treat yourself. Their inner voice becomes kinder. The self-judgmentalness of yourself loosens. The impossible standards soften. You begin to breathe differently. You begin to live differently. You begin to forgive, not because you're told to, but because bitterness becomes heavier than peace. Unconditional love does not make you weak, it makes you whole. And from wholeness, discernment naturally arises. You stop accepting abuse, not because you are angry, but because you finally value yourself. You stop punishing yourself, not because you deny mistakes, but because you understand how learning truly works. You begin to offer compassion to others, not because you excuse behavior, but because you recognize fear beneath it. This is how God loves, not approving everything, but never withdrawing being. You do not have to earn your place in existence. You already have it. And when you sit quietly and let the truth land, not as theology, but as felt awareness, something inside you relaxes that may have been clenched your whole life. So take one more slow breath with me now, and without force, without trying to convince yourself of anything, simply allow this quiet recognition to pass through your awareness. I am loved without condition, not because you are perfect, but because you are, because you exist. And wherever love is remembered, God is already present. May the divine shine through you, and may the divine presence fill you. And I wish you love and joy, and hug someone you love. Thank you.